Hello guys, my name is Balakrishna Srivastav and welcome to Code with BK. So in this video, we write a Java program to extract tokens from a string given a delimiter. So before we begin, it is a request to please subscribe to my channel, because out of 100 viewers, only 1 or 2 is subscribed and your subscription is very important. So please do subscribe to my channel. Alright, let's begin. So let me explain this problem a little more. So if I have a string s, okay, say it is this string, alright, I have a delimiter which is basically a single character. I call it a lowercase d, it has a lowercase a, alright. So given this string s and this single character delimiter, I have to extract tokens from this string. That is, I have to find strings between these delimiters. That is, I start from my left, okay, I extract characters as long as I don't find my delimiter. This is my delimiter, okay. So my first token is going to be s, alright, okay. I skip a because it is my delimiter, it is my boundary between which I need to find the tokens, alright. I start from here and I look for a again. I stop here, okay. So the next string that forms my token is chin space TENDULK, alright. This is my second token, alright. I start again, I get R and I reach the end of the string. So my third token is R, alright, okay. So given this string s and this delimiter, I should be getting these 3 strings as my tokens, okay. And we can use arrays or array list to store these strings. We'll see how, okay. Giving you another example, if I have s as leather ball, alright, and my d is in this case a lowercase l. So I start my string, okay, and I see I have the delimiter as the first character, okay. So the first token I get is a blank string, alright, because the start of the string is the same as the delimiter, okay. So I get a blank string as my first token, okay. So in this case, this is the first token, second token, third token. My first token is a blank, alright. I start searching the string again for a delimiter. I go all the way till this L, alright. So my second token is going to be EATHER space BA, alright, okay. I start searching again. I find a delimiter right after I start searching. So again I get a blank string as my third token, okay. So this is my second token, this is my third token, alright, okay, and then my string ends, okay, alright. So for this case, you get 2 blank string as tokens and 1 non-blank string, okay. But in our question, in our requirement, we don't want the blank strings, okay, okay. We want only the non-blank string. So this should give me only 1 token, alright. And this is the requirement for a question, okay. In certain cases, you will have to take care, you will have to account for the blank tokens as well, okay. So when I code, I will show you how you can also include the blank tokens, alright, okay. But in this case, we don't want the blank tokens. That's the problem requirement, okay. And the most relatable example that I can give you is basically a CSV row, okay, a comma separated values line. So if you want to have details about something, okay, so Harry Potter, okay, Gryffindor, okay, owl, okay, London, okay, alright. If this is the string, this is my string s, okay, and my delimiter is a comma, okay. So my tokens that I get is Harry, my first token, then Potter is my second token, okay, Gryffindor is my third token, owl is my fourth token, and London is my fifth token, okay. So this is what we call a comma separated values line, okay. We must have heard of CSV files, and the delimiter in this is a comma which separates properties of something. In this case, about Harry Potter, house is Gryffindor, pet was owl, comes from London, okay. Not much of a Harry Potter fan, okay, but I know the basics, alright, okay. So I am going to solve this problem with 3 different approaches, alright. So my first one is going to be using inbuilt Java functions, inbuilt Java functions, which is a split function, okay. Very few lines of code gives you the result you want, but with certain exceptions here and there, okay, that I'll show you how, okay. Second, I am going to use loops, okay, iteration, and third is going to be a recursive approach. Okay, again explaining three different approaches to the same problem is so that you can see a problem in different ways, and this will help you to get better with your coding, competitive coding, problem solving in future. Okay, so writing the code for the first method is very simple. I'll write a method. Okay, I'll say string extract tokens, takes a string s and character delimiter d. Split is an already defined function in string class in Java. Okay, so if you want to get this, okay, these three tokens for this string and this delimiter, you simply say string tokens, okay, is equal to s dot split. Okay, on this s, which is the string to split, you call the split function and you pass this delimiter as a string. All right, this function will not accept a single character, okay, but you can pass a single character as a string. Okay, so you can add blank string to this character, it goes as a single character string. All right, and the return type of this method split is basically a string array. So when split splits this string s using this delimiter, it returns all the tokens into an array which we are storing in this left hand side, this variable tokens. Okay, all right, and in the next line you simply return tokens. All right, and that's your code for the first case. All right, this is your code for the first case. Okay, all right, all right. So for s equal to Sachin Tendulkar and d equal to lowercase a, you will get a tokens array, okay, which will look something like this: the first token, the second token, and the third token. Okay, the size of this array is going to be 3, okay, because there are 3 tokens, okay, and each index will contain the token in this order. Okay, all right. So this is how basically split works, but there are certain things here and there about split that you need to know. For example, in this case, you are getting 2 extra blank strings, okay, but when you use this string and this d, here you get only 1 extra blank string, okay, because split works little differently. When I run the code, okay, on the system, I'll show you how. Okay, all right, okay, what are the border cases that you need to keep in mind. But split works when you're looking for non-blank tokens. Okay, if you don't bother about the blank tokens, it will give you all the non-blank tokens you want, and you can filter out the blank ones. Okay, so I will run and test this code for different test cases later. Okay, I am going to first explain you the second method, which is on loops. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay, so we just saw the split method to extract tokens using this delimiter, and split method is very capable. If you want, I can post an entire video based on split. If you want, let me know in the comments. All right, okay, but for now it works a purpose. All right, moving on to loops now. Okay, so I take this string again, I say s equal to, okay, I'm writing it with spaces between characters so that I can provide indices correctly, okay, to the characters. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. All right, string s gets these indices. All right, okay, and my delimiter is lowercase a. All right, now I have to extract these very tokens, okay, using loops. I cannot use split in this case. Okay, and in the split method, we were getting the tokens in a string array. Okay, in this case, I will show you how to store the tokens first in an array list and then in a array. Okay, okay. So how do I solve this using loops? I am going to iterate I from the left hand side. I iterate from left to right. Okay, and I wait for the delimiter to appear. Okay, so I get my first delimiter at index 1. All right, and by the time I am traversing till I find my delimiter, okay, I accumulate all the characters. I start with a word equal to blank before I start iterating. I accumulate characters, okay, till I find my delimiter. Okay, I started with word blank. I started iterating this string, okay, till I find a delimiter. I accumulate characters in this string word. Okay, the moment I find my delimiter, my first word is found, which is s. Okay, and I reset this word to blank. Okay, so that I can extract my second token. Okay, again I start accumulating characters from this next index. Delimiter was found here. I start here. I go forward as long as I don't find a delimiter again. Okay, my delimiter is here. Okay, so I accumulate all these characters in this second word. Okay, so now my word becomes, okay, I added CHIN space all these characters, so it becomes space TNDULK. Alright, okay, so characters when I started searching for my next token till I find my delimiter are all in this string word. Okay, so this is my second word, which is CHINTNDULK, and then I reset my word to blank again. Okay, alright, so that I can extract my next word starting from here till the end. Okay, so my third word is going to be single character R in a string. Okay, so my third token is R. Alright, and this is the process we follow and code in our solution with loops. Okay, so let me write a method. I'll say I will return an array list of type string. Okay, extract tokens. Okay, takes a string S and character delimiter D. Okay, alright, okay, so this method takes a string S, character delimiter D, and returns the tokens in an array list. Okay, so I will create an array list first. To store my tokens, I'll say tokens is equals to new array list. Okay, so in this case I had my values I starting at 0. Okay, and my word was blank, so I'll take a string word as blank. Okay, I iterate the string from left to right, so I say while I is less than s dot length. Okay, alright, I extract the ith character in this string, so I'll say char ch is s dot char and index I. Okay, two things I need to check here: if my ith character is a delimiter or if my ith character is not a delimiter. So if my ith character is the delimiter, equal to D, else if it is not a delimiter. Alright, so in this what we were doing, if my ith character was not a delimiter, I was accumulating the characters in the word, so I say word plus equal to ch. Okay, alright, for characters which are not delimiters, okay, I accumulate them in the current word. Okay, that starts with blank. Okay, and when my ith character is a delimiter, I have found my token. So I need to store the word, okay, which has accumulated the character so far, that forms a token, to my array list token. So I say tokens dot add this word, and I have to reset the word to blank so that it starts accumulating characters in a fresh manner again to find the next token. So I say word is blank, and obviously the loop has to go forward, so I plus plus. Okay, and finally I return the array list, so I return tokens. Alright, okay, so in our case we don't want blank tokens. Okay, that's not defined for us. We want only non-blank tokens. So I can add a check if word dot length is not equal to 0. That is only if it is not a blank word added to the word tokens, added to the array list tokens. Okay, and then set word to blank. Okay, so if it is blank, it will stay blank. If it is not blank, it will be added to the tokens array list, and then it will be set to blank. Okay, I will show you how this matters when we run the code. Okay, right, and one more thing, that you are adding the word to the list tokens when you get ch equal to 2, that is when you find the delimiter. But when you are at the end of the string, okay, you have word as R. Okay, word is storing R. You are at the end of the string, the loop stops. Okay, you still have word as R and you have not stored it in the tokens. Okay, so after the loop completes, okay, to get the final token, if it is there, I say if word dot length is not equal to 0, you add this word to tokens. Alright, okay, when I try run this, I'll show you why this is important. Okay, so let me try run this code for this input, for this S and for this D. So I have my S as this string. Okay, it has indices 0 to 15. I have my D as lowercase a. I have I starting at 0. I have word starting at blank. Okay, s dot length is a fixed value which is 16. Okay, so I say I less than 16. Okay, I have ch which is the character at ith index. I have ch equal to d condition. Okay, all right, and then I have I plus plus. All right, okay. So I am here. I is 0. Word is blank. I is less than s dot length. I is less than 16 is true. Ch is s dot caret I. I is here. Ch is uppercase s. Okay. Ch equal to d is false because our d is lowercase a. Okay. We come here. Word equal to word plus equal to ch. Word becomes adding s to this. Word becomes s. Okay. I is incremented. I becomes 1. We go back to check for while loop condition. 1 is less than 16 is true. Okay. You get ch is s dot caret I comes here, ch becomes lowercase a. Okay, ch becomes lowercase a, ch equal to d is true. Dot length not equal to 0. Word is this? This is true. This is true. You come inside, you add tokens dot add word. So if my array list, okay, was this, I add this word to array list. Okay, so my array list contains this single word now. Okay, and my word is set to blank, word becomes blank. Okay, all right, word becomes blank. This if part ends, you come here I plus plus, I becomes 2. Okay, you go back to check for while loop condition. This is 2 is less than 16. You get ch is lowercase c. Okay, ch is equal to d is false. Okay, you add this ch to word becomes lowercase c. Okay, you increment I becomes 3. Okay, because else part ended, I incremented. Go back to check for condition is true. All right, I becomes 3, I comes here, so you get ch as lowercase h. Okay, ch is s dot caret I, ch equal to d is false. Okay, so you come in the else part, you add ch to word, this becomes ch. Okay, and you increment I becomes 4. Okay, I comes here. Okay, I is 4, this condition is true, I less than 16. I is 4, ch is lowercase I. Okay, ch is lowercase I, this is false. Okay, you come in the else part, word plus equal to I, this becomes chi. Okay, you increment I becomes 5. Check this condition, this is true. Okay, I becomes 5. Okay, ch gets lowercase n. Okay, ch gets lowercase n, ch equal to d is false. Okay, come in the else part, 1 plus equal to h, chin. Okay, I plus plus, I becomes 6. Alright, so you can see after this delimiter, starting from here till here, we have reached for I equal to 5. We are accumulating the characters in this word. Okay, and this accumulation goes on till I get to my k. Okay, so I'll move on directly to k. Okay, so I'll move on directly to k. At k, okay, when I have I equal to 13, okay, my word will be storing chin space tendulk. Okay, and my ch in this case right now is lowercase k. Okay, and this is false. Okay, all right. When I becomes 14, okay, I becomes 14. Okay, I becomes 14, ch becomes lowercase a. ch becomes lowercase a, ch equal to d is true. Okay, this condition is true. Word dot length is not equal to 0. Word dot length is not equal to 0 is true. This is not a blank string. Okay, you add this to tokens. You add this word to tokens, so tokens token becomes chin lk. Okay, all right. This is your array list now. You add one more word to this array list. Okay, and you set word to blank. Word becomes blank. Okay, you move on to the next value of I. I becomes 15. Okay, I becomes 15. 15 less than 16 is true. Okay, you have this ch as lowercase r. Okay, this lowercase r is added to your blank word. All right. Okay, ch is lowercase r, ch equal to d is false, and so ch is added to your blank word, ch becomes r. Okay, I plus plus, I becomes 16. This is false. Okay, 16 less than 16 is false. Okay, so when I is 16, your word is r. Okay, when I is 16, you come out of the loop. Okay, you come out of the loop, your array list has these two, which are the first two tokens. okay, and the last token is still in the word which you have not added to the array list. That's why we have this, okay, to add the last remaining word if this is not blank. And when we do this, if word.length is not equal to 0, is true, okay, because word is r, okay, we add it to tokens. So this is added, this gets the third value r, and finally you return tokens. So you return this array list which contains these 3 tokens. Alright, okay. So what if I want to change my return value to a string array? Okay, this is not very difficult. All you have to do is repeat this process. So the first time you do this process, it counts the number of tokens so that you can get the size of the array, you can create the array, and then in the second instance when you run this again, okay, you will be able to extract tokens and place them in the array. When I do this in the code, when I run this on our system, I'll show you how you can get the return type as string. Okay, alright. For now, I will move on to the third method. So I am done with my first 2 methods. Okay, I'll move on to the recursive method to extract tokens given this delimiter. Okay, so in this method, I'm going to use recursion, okay, recursive method to extract tokens on this string s given this delimiter. Okay, so as I told you, whenever you are solving recursive problems, you should be able to fulfill 2 major points. First, problem can be solved in terms of sub-problems, okay, so that you can divide a problem into sub-problems, divide those sub-problems further into sub-problems, and solve those to get to solve your original problem. Okay, but this process has to stop, because if you continue this infinitely, you will get a Stack Overflow error. Okay, there has to be a place where you have to stop dividing the sub-problems further. Okay, that is your base case, okay, where recursion stops. Okay, all right. So I need to fit these 2 points into the solution of this problem so that I can solve this problem recursively. Okay, so I can roughly say tokens, okay, all the tokens of this string s are basically the first token of s, okay, plus tokens of string formed by removing the first token. So s minus first token, okay, and this is just representative. We cannot actually do subtraction between 2 strings. This is just to say that all the tokens of s are basically equal to the first token. You extract the first token and then you get the tokens for the remaining string. Okay, so this we can say is dividing the problem into sub problems, which is your part A. Okay, now second part is where do you stop. So if s is blank, okay, you return. That is, you cannot do any more token extraction from a blank string. There are no tokens in the blank string. Or, so this is basically B1 and this is B2. Okay, and this is, I'll make this A. Okay, so if your recursion stops either if s is a blank string because you cannot get any tokens from a blank string, or if s has no delimiters. Okay, for example, if my s is say hello, okay, and I take my delimiter as lowercase a, alright, this entire string is 1 token and is the only single token for this case, okay, because there are no delimiters in this string. In that case, okay, if s has no delimiters, token is s, okay, your remaining s is your final token. Okay, alright, I'll show you how when I try on this. Okay, so let me write the code. So I'm going to say void extract tokens, okay, takes a string s, character, delimiter d, okay, and I need again some way to store my token, so I'll take a array list of type string, okay, which is my tokens. Okay, now this function is going to be recursive following these 2 ideas. Okay, so this is very roughly, okay, relating these 2 ideas, okay, because this forms the basis of recursion. Okay, my first thing is we write the base cases first. If s is blank, I return. So if s dot length equal to 0, you return. Okay, your recursion stops. Okay, second thing, if there is no delimiter, okay, so we look for this character d inside s. If you don't find it, there is no delimiter. To find d in s, I use index of, so I say int index is s dot index of d. Find me the first index where d is in s. Okay, The return value of index of is -1 if there is no D in S, and that is the case for our return. So if index is -1, okay, that means there is no delimiter in this string S, I return. Okay, and before returning I need to add this string as the token as well, right? Because if my string is say hello and my delimiter is A, this is my entire token and this is the only token I have. Okay, so I add to tokens dot add S before I return. Okay, if my index is -1, that is I do not find delimiter in the given string S. Okay, so my base cases are covered. So this is basically, this entire thing is basically your part B. Okay, then we move on to this part, which is extracting the first token and then recurring with the remaining string. Okay, so extract first token. Okay, so we have the index of the delimiter, because if this condition is false, it means there was this delimiter in the string S. That's why we come here. Okay, so I'm going to get my token as string token is S dot substring starting from index 0 till index. Okay, this will give me my first token. Okay, starting from index 0 till the index where my delimiter is. Okay, again I add token. If token dot length is not equal to 0, I add it to tokens. Add token. Alright, because if this is a blank token, okay, if the index of the delimiter was at 0, so if you pass 0 0, okay, you get a blank string. Okay, and I don't want blank tokens. Okay, so I've extracted my token, so this part is done. Okay, for the recursive case, now you need to recur. When you need to recur, you need to remove this first token from S. So you say S is S dot substring. The substring starts from where you start finding your next token, which is index plus 1. Okay, so this part is basically these two lines getting me the first token. This is basically getting me this string S minus first token, and now I need to recur. So I call extract tokens. Okay, my first value is S. Okay, my second value is D, and my third value is the list tokens. Okay, and this is the recursive method to extract tokens from a string S given delimiter D. Alright, so let me dry run this entire thing. Okay, for again the given this input. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay, now since this function is recursive, I need to trace recursive calls. So my start is basically with S equal to Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, my D is lowercase a. Okay, D will not change anywhere, so I'll stay with this D. S will change as we progress. Okay, with recursive calls, and my array list is basically blank right now, nothing. My first call to extract tokens, I'll take ET for short. Okay, is with this string, this delimiter, and tokens is blank. Alright, this is my token. Sorry. Okay, so since this tokens is an object, it is passed by reference, so we get this same object passed everywhere, which is blank right now. Okay, first thing is s dot length equal to 0. S dot length is 16 equal to 0 is false. You come here, you can find index. Now index is basically s dot index of D. Finding A in this, so 0 1 found at index 1. The first index where D is found in S, which is returned as 1. 1 is equal to -1 is false. You come here, you extract first token, you say token is s dot substring 0 to index. S dot substring 0 to index. So this second index is not included. So you get string with only S, so your token is S. Okay, token dot length is not equal to 0 is true because this is not a blank token. Okay, you add it to tokens, so tokens now becomes this. Okay, you do S is S dot substring index plus 1. You do S equal to S dot substring. Okay, index plus 1, which is 2. Okay, so 0 1 2 starting from here till here you get the substring, so you get S as CHIN. Okay, all right. And then you call et again. Okay, then you call et with s, which is this, with d, and with this tokens. Okay, so this is the next call to et. This is the first recursive call. Okay, so et is called with s, which is chin. Okay, d is lowercase a, remains the same, and tokens is basically this thing. Okay, this array list. All right, call to et with these three values. The first thing is s dot length equal to 0. S dot length equal to 0. S dot length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 is equal to 0 is false. Okay, you calculate index. This condition is false. You come here, you calculate index. You find where d is in s. You find where a is in this string. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So a is here at index 12. So index is 12. Okay, 12 is equal to -1 is false. You come here, string token s dot substring 0 to index. Okay, s dot substring 0 to index. Okay, so index is here. So when you find substring, the second index is excluded. So starting from 0, you go till k. Okay, and that is your token. So your token is chin tendul k. Okay, if token dot length is not equal to 0 is true, so you add this token to tokens. So now this tokens becomes chin. This string is also added. Okay, all right. You come here, s is s dot substring. You do s is s dot substring index plus 1. Okay, so index is here. Index plus 1 is here. Okay, at index 13. Okay, so you get this only string r as your string here. Okay, so this is your string s now. Okay, all right, and then you call et again. So et is called with s, d, and tokens. Okay, next call to et with s is this, d is a, tokens is s and the second string. Okay, all right. First condition, s dot length equal to 0. S dot length is 1 equal to 0 is false. Okay, you find index. Index is where you are looking for a in this string. Okay, a is not found in this string, so index is -1 in this case. Index is -1, this condition is true. You add s to tokens. Okay, so you add this string to tokens. Okay, and you return. Okay, so when you return from this function, okay, you go back to this call. Okay, and this was the last call from this function, so you also return from this function back to here. Okay, which is the call, which is the last statement again to this function call, so you return back. Okay, so the function returns to the first call. Okay, all right, the recursion ends and you get tokens as this. Okay, so this was the recursive method, okay, to extract tokens from a given string given a delimiter. So I'm going to run all the 3 codes on the system on multiple test cases and show you how it works. Okay, so before we move on to the system to run this, it is a request to please subscribe to my channel, and let's move on to running this system now. So this is the code for the first method that we discussed, to extract tokens from a string s using delimiter d using split method of the string class. Okay, and this was our example. These are the tokens I expect. Okay, I've taken certain more examples. So I've taken a data class, all right, that has 3 data members, string s, delimiter d, single character, and an array to store tokens. Okay, so once I set tokens using s and d, I will display tokens. Okay, and that's what I'm doing here for each data in this data set. So I extract tokens using s and d in data and set it to the tokens of data, and then I call display tokens for this data, which is this method. Okay, all right, so let me run this. Okay, so tokens for this string on this delimiter is this. Okay, that's what we discussed. For this string on delimiter I, it is first, okay, and second. Okay, there should be a blank token as well between I
and the right end, but we don't have it. I'll tell you in a moment. Okay, for this we have this entire string because z is not within this string. Okay, for this we have the first token, okay, second token, third token, and fourth token. All right, and similarly for other cases. Okay, so when I was explaining the split method, I told you that it will include blank strings as well as tokens, and then you'll have to filter out the blank string. So I'll just show in a moment how to filter out the blank strings. Okay, so in this case, when we discussed, we were getting 2 blanks, but here we get only 1 blank string. So the first blank string is for this between the left boundary and L. This is the second token, all right, which we get here, all right, and there should be a third token between these two lowercase l, okay, between these two delimiters, all right, but we don't get it because split does not include trailing blank tokens. Okay, split method does not include trailing blank tokens. Okay, so if you have blank tokens at the end, it does not include. Okay, how I'll explain it. For example, let's look at this I love to code. Okay, all right, the last token in I love to code is this mid, okay, which comes here after O. If I add 2 O's here, okay, so this is supposed to give me a blank string between these 2 O's, okay, after DE, okay, but I won't get it because it is a trailing blank string, okay, and split does not include it. So you can see, even if I add 2 O's at the end and my delimiter is O, I don't get a blank string at the end. If I add a T here, okay, so now this is a non-blank token at the end, and so this blank token between these 2 O will be added because it is not the trailing blank token. Okay, so let me run this again. All right, so you see I have a blank token before T. All right, so basically split method does not include trailing blank tokens. I can take another example. For example, in this case, okay, this is the last token. If I add 2 A's, I won't get a blank string, okay, for the second last case, for this case. So it will remain the same. So let me run this. For second last case remains the same even if I add 2 A's at the end. Now if I add a D, now D is the last token and it is not blank. So this blank string between these 2 A's will also be included as a token. So you'll see a blank before D. All right. So what we have is split method does not include trailing blank tokens, and that you have to remember. Okay. And in our case, we don't want blank tokens. We just want the non-blank ones. So I need to get the non-blank ones out of these. Okay. So I say int num non-blank is 0. Okay. For string s in tokens. If this s dot length is not equal to 0. Okay. If this is not a blank. Okay. I'll say s. Oh, I'm already using s. So I'll say str. Okay. Okay. I will say num non-blank plus plus. Because the length of the string is not 0, it is not blank, so increment the num non-blank by 1. Alright. So we create another array of this num non-blank size in which we are going to store the non-blank tokens. So I'll say non-blank tokens is equals to new string num non-blank. Okay. I start with j equal to 0, which is the first index from which we start filling this array. Okay, so again the same thing. Okay, if the length is not equal to 0, okay, this time I set str in jth location of this non-blank tokens array. Okay, and finally I return this. So first we find out how many non-blank tokens we have, then we create an array to store the non-blank tokens, and then we populate this array. All right, so let me run this again. So we don't get any blank strings anywhere. Okay. So this was the code for the first method, and let's move on to the second method now. Now this is the second method that we discussed to extract tokens from a string s using delimiter d. Okay, in this case we are returning the tokens in an array list. Okay, all right. So first I'm going to run this, and then I'm going to show you how you can return an array as well instead of an array list. Okay, all right. Again the same cases. So I create a string array of same size as this array list. Okay, then I call the toArray function of this array list. So to set tokens in this tokens array, all right. Then I set tokens array in this data, all right, and then I display tokens. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, so we get the same output as we expected. All right, and there are no blank tokens. Okay, because we are filtering out the blank tokens here. Okay, If you want to include the blank tokens, remove these. Okay, all right, so I'll run again, and you see we have blank tokens as well. Okay, after I we have a blank token. Okay, here, okay, yeah, after A we have a blank token. Okay, we have one blank token between 2L and one blank token here. Okay, and again blank token between two M's. Okay, so one blank token, second blank token, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, so 7 blank tokens. All right, okay, so we don't want blanks, so we keep it this way. Run this again. Okay, and this is what we have. All right, so what if I want my tokens in a array? Okay, instead of array list, so I copy this exact same function. Okay, I change this to extract tokens to, I change the return type to a string array. Okay, all right, I don't need this array list, so I'm going to repeat this process twice. In the first instance, I count how many tokens I have, and then in the second instance, I populate my array. All right, in num tokens, okay, is 0. So I start with num tokens equal to 0, and where I was adding token to the tokens, I basically do tokens, num tokens plus plus, because I am incrementing the number of tokens where I'm supposed to add a token to a list. Okay, so now I have the size of the array that I need to return. So I create string tokens is equals to new string num tokens. Okay, and I return tokens. Okay, I do this exact same thing. Okay, I already have this. I don't need to redeclare this. I don't need this. I just need to set word to blank. Okay, I don't need this. I don't need this. Okay, instead I need to add this word. Okay, so here in the code, I am adding the word to the list, and in this case, I take a j equal to 0 and I add to the array. Okay, all right, so repeating this process twice. In the first instance, counting the number of tokens, then creating this array to store tokens, and then populating this array. Okay, all right, so I am going to say, comment this all out. I'll say extract tokens to using this string and delimiter. Okay, call this method that directly returns an array. Okay, so running this, you get the same output. Okay, all right, okay, moving on to the final case where we extract tokens using recursion. Okay, this is the code we have. All right, same test cases. Okay, and again this will add tokens to an array list which starts with blank. Okay, so I have array list every time I extract tokens using s and d of this data d. Okay, I create a tokens array to populate tokens from this array list into this array using the toArray method to copy all the tokens from this array list to this array, and then setting the tokens array in object d, finally displaying the tokens. Okay, so let me run this. All right, so we get the same output. Okay, if you want to include blanks, remove this. Okay, and remove this. Okay, so I run this. Okay, you see I have blanks. Okay, where they are supposed to be. Okay, this had 7 blanks. Okay, 7 blanks. All right, okay, so this is also important to remove because this is counting for the last blank string. Now if I uncomment this, if I keep this code, I will lose one blank string. So the last blank, this will be removed, this will be removed, this will be removed, and this will be removed. Okay, so let me run this again. Okay, all right, so you see 6 now. Okay, the last token, the last blank is removed. Okay, all right, okay, so uncommenting this and this, we have what we need. All right, okay, all right, so these were the 3 approaches to extract tokens from a string. And why do I take different methods to solve one single problem? Is that you can see how to approach a problem in multiple ways. So if you like this video, if you found this helpful, please subscribe to my channel. And if you don't like this video, please just don't press the dislike button. Please also let me know in the comments what you don't like about this video, because if you don't let me know what you don't like, I cannot improve upon my further videos. All right, you can also let me know in the comments if there is a question you want me to solve or if there is a concept you want me to discuss. Thank you.